Hey, what's up everyone? This is Josh Anderson with BagpipeMaster.com. We're going to have a quick tutorial about what's called grace notes. On the bagpipes, there's not a way to easily stop playing notes. It's a continual playing of notes. And if you stop moving your fingers, it'll just play whatever note your fingers are resting on. And so there's no way of really easily cutting out the music and stopping the music completely, or breaking up the melody by stopping playing notes. So grace notes are a good way to, instead of a continual playing of notes, it breaks it up with little accents of smaller notes. For example, if I were to play a little bit of a song called Patty's Leaded Britches, it would sound normally like this. You can hear there's nice da 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 da. Those little tiny notes are breaking it up. If I left that out, though, and just played the melody, it would sound like this. A little bit more bland, not so much a feel of a peppy, good bagpipe song. So let's go ahead and get started showing how to actually play a grace note. And if you want to follow along with the sheet music, there's free sheet music on my website, bagpipemaster.com. We're just simply going over exercise 1, which is the G grace note scale. Okay, I just want to show you what it looks like on the sheet music here real quick. You can see here's a low G, and a grace note are these little tiny things like this. This is a perfect example of a G grace note played on a low G. G grace note played on a low A, and you can see it's going up the scale all the way up to the F, and then we're not able to play grace notes on the G, A, or G. And then an interesting thing about this is when you're going down the scale, since you're on the G, you can't play a G grace note going down to the F, but going up the scale, you could play a G grace note on the F going up, just the way the fingers are positioned. It doesn't allow you to do it on the F coming down the scale. That's just a minor note. You can see the grace notes going down, all the way down. And while we have this in front of us, you can see that in exercise 2 it's going to feel very similar. On this exercise they simply go up the scale and down, leaving out the notes that aren't possible. And then also here, we're going to get into that later, but you can see that there's other types of grace notes like E grace notes, D grace notes. One thing I want to show you also is I have an example here of Amazing Grace, and on Amazing Grace, just to show you, that we're working towards a goal, is you can see here grace notes throughout the music. And you can see in this song, and like most songs, the G grace note is one of the most popular. So it is important to learn this one for the fact that you can see a G grace note there, G grace note there, there. See these G grace notes? And there are other grace notes, we're going to work on these guys later, but you can see that G grace note is very, very popular, all throughout the song. So just a good example of something that we're working towards and why it's important to learn this exercise. Alright, let's just talk about how it looks on here to play one grace note. If I were just playing a C, I would continue playing a C, continue playing a C. That could get kind of boring, but what I can do is I can break it up with a G grace note. It's just a small little accent note that breaks up the continual monotony, or creates more punch to notes that you really want to accent. So for the scale, we're just going to go up and down the scale and play G grace notes on that. Okay, let's get out our metronomes. I think I'm going to put mine to 72. Let's play exercise 1. awesome. Hope that helps out with playing the G grace note. You're able to see the scale on that and kind of what it looks like. Yeah, this is a really important thing for the bagpipes. You can use it in lots of songs. I know we're working towards learning some of the basics so we can learn Scott and the Brave, Amazing Grace, and you're definitely going to use this in those. So, alright, we'll move on to our next exercise. Thanks.